Flying back around again.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the 13th episode of the Shuffle podcast. Today we have Erika Gutierrez on the show. Hi Erika, how are you?
Hi, Marcos. Hi, everyone. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me here.
Okay, so you've become more known in this last year in the Shuffle community, but you weren't that known at the beginning. So, what are your beginnings in the Shuffle community, and how do you discover all this world of shuffling?
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey because from the beginning, the goal was always just to like learn how to shuffle and learn how to dance. And I had always attended festivals when I was younger, like from the age of 13, because I live in Miami. So we would go to Ultra from I was like 13 up till 17. And then I quit because I went to college and I was like, I'm never going to a festival again. Like, I'm in college now. I'm going to be like doing other things. And then one day I was on Instagram and I came across, I think it was Van Teco. And I was like, whoa, this looks cool. And then I started finding more and more videos. I'm like, what is this? Like, everyone is just posting these shuffle dance videos. So from that day, I was in my room and I'm like, all right, every single day I'm going to practice for 5 minutes and I'm gonna learn how to do this. And then a month later, I started sharing videos. I started connecting with more and more people. And from the beginning, like I always looked up to, the shufflers that were sharing videos and I was like, oh my God, they have so much confidence. Like they have some super cool videos. Like how do they do that? But I just kept dancing for fun in my room and that brought a lot of people into my life and the shuffle community was really inviting. And so I became part of the community and from there it's about to be 3 years. I
Mm-hmm.
started in September of 2018.
Mm-hmm. And have you always been in Miami? Uh,
The first 2 years I was in college. I was in Tallahassee, Florida State University. So
mhm.
it's something that helped me like while I was in school, I was studying applied math. And so I would be super stressed studying and then I would go home and just shuffle, share my shuffle videos, and then on the weekends like go out and record more videos. So and then I moved to Miami during quarantine. So then
Mm.
once I moved back to Miami, which has a big shuffle scene outside of, social media, but it was a quarantine. So I just was in my room shuffling every day in my room. And I think that's what helped the most because like there was nothing else to do. So I would just use Instagram, connect with people, take classes online, shuffle in my room, and yeah, shuffle all day every day.
Mm-hmm. And and like in the first years that you said that you were in college, were you dancing alone? Did you have someone to dance with, or how was this journey?
The first year I was dancing alone. It was just me, my room, my phone. I would go on Snapchat and just
Mm-hmm.
record myself. Because there was nobody that I saw in Tallahassee shuffling. Everyone was just, there was a club scene because it was a college town, so you would go out, but people would just listen to the music and just kind of like, no one danced over there. It was kind of just, so I was starting to get frustrated. I liked staying home shuffling by myself because nobody was dancing until I was like, you know what? I'm gonna teach people how to shuffle. Nobody shuffles here. I'm gonna teach people. So I put together like a plan and I was like, all right, I'm going to this it was Green Velvet. He was gonna play. I'm like, all right, I'm going to this event. I'm gonna dance and anybody that comes up to me, because usually people will be like, whoa, I love your moves. I'm like, anyone that comes up to me, I'm gonna invite them to a shuffle meetup. And that day I got like 40 people. And then the next week I had like a shuffle meetup where I started teaching. It was like my first official class.
40
And then I
people
started teaching.
in one day.
Yeah, it was like 40 people. It was 40 people because it was something new. No one had ever seen that there. It
Mm-hmm.
was like, all right, guys, show up. It's a class, but it's also a meetup where you can dance. So we had 40 people, and from there on, it became like a club. So every week we had a meetup, and every week different people came. And from there on, I wasn't alone anymore. I was with a bunch of other people, and everyone loved it. It was a really good time.
And like I wanted to talk to you about this because for the things that I know, I've seen you sometimes that you were doing like networking classes, and I wanted to ask you if your knowledge about networking has helped you in like building community or getting better relationships with people, and how this networking knowledge and part has contributed into your shuffle.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big help. So while I was beginning to shuffle, I was also beginning to use LinkedIn because I was in college. So I heard about LinkedIn and I saw LinkedIn. There was a whole group of professionals sharing videos on there. It wasn't anything dance related, but I was doing the dancing on Instagram. So I was kind of learning from both worlds. Like, all right, these professionals share videos, but they also like, it's a different way of using the platform. They would build meaningful relationships on there. So it would be like leaving meaningful comments, following like meaningful connections. So then on Instagram, it was kind of the same thing. Like I would see someone shuffling, like people would write nice captions, like share about themselves. So you would use that opportunity to like build a meaningful connection and like just build your network. So it has helped because I think it's like there's two arts. There's like dancing, then there's like content creation. And I think that a lot of people sometimes they want to like grow their following, but then they're missing the side of like, okay, how do we now put more into content creation and networking? Because it's not just about like sharing a video, putting hashtags and expecting people to like blow up your video. That in the beginning, that's how we all start. But if you're serious about it, like there has to be some sort of strategy behind it. Um, and networking definitely is like something you want to grow your community and you want to have people that are supporting you and you supporting them as well, because you can't just do it by yourself.
And going right now to when you moved to Miami after this quarantine, how's the community in Miami? I just know a few people. I don't know everyone, but how's the community there? Is it big? Is there like weekly meetups, or how's the community going there?
Yeah, there's a lot of shufflers in Miami. I know Miami for years, like way before I started shuffling, there was like a huge shuffle scene there. Because of COVID, I never really got to go into it too much because as soon as it was over, I was in Los Angeles. But every time like I go out, I'll see shufflers. I have a lot of friends that we shuffle together. So we'll plan our meetups, but there's not like a weekly meetup. There's not like there's at least from what I've experienced, there's not like a place every week that we'll like get together. It's kind of like everyone individually making their own plans. I think maybe that's because of COVID. I'm not sure if that can change. But definitely like I got some girls together. We would do like videos together. That was something that was going on weekly. But then I went to California. So, but that's something in my plans. I definitely want to like get meetups together and get more people to get together every week in Miami, learn from each other.
Yeah, I saw like your videos with the girls from Miami. Like you were all
Yeah,
like,
that was fun.
and now I also saw like I think that you made some of them outside of Miami, but now I think that Rampage, that is someone you collaborated with a few times, he is now I think living in Miami. So and I've seen him collaborating a lot too with shufflers. So like this part is really cool. Okay, so let's jump off to talking about content creation. Okay, it's been a very big element in your shuffling career in this last year. Like you've grown so much, and like there was like if you scroll down your feed, you see like the point where you started. Like you can see, okay, here it wasn't like seriously creating the content, and up to this point you start seeing like better feed, better videography in the videos. So at the beginning, how do you start seeing, okay, I want to level up the quality of my content, and how are these first steps to start doing it? Because it's not like something like this and now you have like crazy content. So how is these first steps,
Yeah.
and how's your thinking about this?
Yeah, it's definitely in the beginning, it was like an experimental phase where it's like, okay, we've just been using the iPhone, like these are how the videos have been. And I started dating my boyfriend at the time. He was like, all right, like let's get a nice fancy camera and like let's level up your quality. And so No, excuse me. He was taking photos at first. We were taking photos. And then we started taking some videos, but it wasn't anything like, all right, I want to like use reels. I want to like take it seriously. At first, we were just kind of having fun with it. Like, all right, a shuffle video here. Okay, let's maybe take one in 2 days. Let's take one here. And then I was hired to do a music video around December. And I was in the music video, and they were using like all these amazing cameras, and like it was super professional production. And after that music video, I was like, I want to do this every time. Like, I don't want to just keep making them on on my camera, my phone. So my boyfriend was like, all right, let's like level up our production. So he started playing with lenses, getting a different lens, getting a stabilizer, and like adding to our equipment. And in the beginning, he had to learn how to use Adobe because he was never a editor or videographer. So both of us together were learning, and I was learning how to like direct, like, okay, this is how I want it. This is how we want it cropped. And then from there we just got started getting better and better. And even till this day, now I'm like, all right, I'm kind of bored doing just 30-second reels. Like, what can I do now? Like, now it's like, how can I continue to grow in my content creation and add different ways to like the video or something to make it more special rather than just a 30-second choreography.
Yeah, like I could see, one time I was asking you, what lens is this one? Is it like 85? Was it more? Was it less? So yeah, like when you start understanding about the different lenses, how to edit and all these things, like you start to think a lot more creative, because you don't just have the part of the dance or the choosing the spot, but you also have equipment choices, or how can you edit this video, or how can you like maybe do some montage, or like the possibilities start to expand a lot.
Expand, it's endless. Yeah, I didn't know about any of that, about lenses, about cameras, and my boyfriend spent weeks researching, like weeks, like what would be the best and how do we make it work. You were the only person. My DMs were flooding, like, what lens do you have? What camera do you have? And I just let people guess for a time, and you were the first person that was like, this is the one you have. I'm like, yep, this is it.
Yeah, because like
Yeah, I remember.
it's like I think I knew the lens, because I have seen stories like behind the scenes, the one you were shooting, and I was seeing the camera so far, and the framing, like you were super like very well framed, and your background was super big. So this has to be like a big distance lens, like not a telephoto, like it wasn't a telephoto, but that's why like, but it wasn't like a 50. So I guessed it maybe was 85, and I guessed it right.
85. You did.
But yeah.
It's an amazing lens.
Yeah, like the cool thing is that you need to put the camera very far in order to to fit in.
Definitely.
But
Definitely. It adds a cool blur effect in the back. We have two, and then the other one is a wide angle that from further, you can get, I mean, from closer, you can get a good, like scenery.
yeah.
Doesn't have to be so far.
Yeah, but like the good thing of the bigger lenses, the more millimeters, is that like the background, it becomes bigger, and depending on the focal distance, it gets more blurry or less blurry. But like having this effect of having something like really close to you, but making it like super huge. Like I also was seeing one, I think, if I don't know if was, I don't think it was your first video, but one of your first videos with this kind of cameras, there was like a big head that was kind of a rock, and I was like, it was
Yeah.
looking gigantic on the video.
Yeah, that was a great video. But that rock in itself was pretty big. It was a nice statue. I gotta go back there, get another video.
So when you were
But also, I
uh
wanted
huh.
to add, because teamwork is what helps a lot. Like by myself, I definitely wouldn't be able to make all these videos. And for anyone who's starting off, because before I used to like work with videographers, I definitely would recommend like working with a videographer and like experimenting with them and like continuing to grow like that. Like not trying to do everything by yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like if you need to frame everything and be like going back and put yourself like on the place to dance and go to the camera, and imagine doing this with an 85 that is like maybe 10 meters away or or things like this. Like you're never doing the video.
Yeah, no, that'd take forever. But keyframing works. Let's say if you do want to put your phone and you're by yourself and you want to add more to the video, you'll put it in the tripod and then when you edit, you keyframe it to like move it around.
Yeah,
So if you are by
obviously.
yourself, there's that option to add some like effect to the video.
Yeah. Yeah, but then you need to edit to know how to edit too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can watch a couple YouTube tutorials on Adobe how to edit that.
Yeah. Like it just takes the first step of starting, and then when you start liking how the videos are are getting done, like I think like it's just a snowball. Okay, so after this getting started in the content, upgrading your cameras, your lenses, like everything, how like do you start having some feedback from the people? Like, do you notice that people is appreciating this content quality level up, or you don't see much of a difference?
Definitely, I saw a difference from the beginning that I started uploading like the higher quality videos. Immediately, like the engagement grew. I think because it was also very new to have this quality of like dance video at the time. I feel like because after that, I noticed a lot of people started getting that lens. But definitely everyone was so impressed. They were like, "Whoa, like how did you get this quality? Like what camera lens is this?" And there was also people who were like, "Whoa, like I love your level of production, like could keep going." So I received a lot of support. And a lot of people really enjoyed the higher quality content.
There's one thing that happens that just by using a lens, like the proportion of yourself and the background, it changes completely. So just by this, like the quality looks it's so different, and you perceive it as a higher quality like in the moment, because phone is like everything is really flat, but you get this depth of the field with the lenses, and just starting using this, it's like it starts looks you can tell that this is shot with a camera, like with a lens, or it's just the phone. So this
Oh yeah, for
is
sure.
this funny thing that happens sometimes. Like you know Chuflis too, right? So maybe
Yeah.
sometimes we are kind of with a group, and Chuflis has his camera, like he has a Sony with different lenses too, and sometimes we're like going to shoot like a quick video with Mark Tor and more people maybe, and Shuflis and I know that using the camera automatically is better quality. Like obviously, camera versus phone, like always camera. And sometimes, even though it's just a short video, we say it, but we can do it with the camera. Like we have the camera here. Like we don't. It's just put the camera on a tripod and that's it. And and Mark says, no, man, with the bro, with the phone. And we're like, why with the phone? Like it's just putting the camera. And he's like, no, with the phone, with the phone. And it's like so funny because like people, like it's different, like it's difficult for people to really understand that just with the camera, but because they are used to do it always in the phone, and they don't want like to go like out of the comfort zone, let's say it like this, they're like, no, I just keep it with the phone because I want it in the phone. And it's like even though they can get better quality, they want to keep using the phone because it's what they are used to. But it's just, as you say,
Yeah.
the moment you start seeing that it's so much better quality.
Yeah, yeah, no, I don't blame him. Sometimes I do that too. Like sometimes it takes really long to like set up the tripod and like put the camera. So I'm like, just get it with the phone, just get it with the phone. And but we always end up using the camera. One thing I did notice though is TikTok, at least for me in my experience, TikTok prefers videos taken on the phone versus on the camera. Like when I post something on the phone, like a BTS recorded on the phone, usually that would do better than the actual original video on the camera. But from my experience, I'm not sure why that is.
Maybe it's because people, as it's something like behind the scenes, maybe they are curious about, oh, but what are they shooting? You know, they see cameras and tripods and they're like, oh, what are they shooting? So maybe like the retention of the audience, maybe it's higher due to the type of video you're uploading, but I don't know. I don't know. Like you would need another camera to do the behind the scenes in order to test which one is better, like the behind the scenes with the camera or
Yeah.
the behind the scenes with the phone.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be a nice experiment.
And it was very funny at the beginning of this year. Like it was on, I think it was on March, like this week of starting March, that you uploaded this video with Rampage, the one doing like the moonwalk on the same place that you were doing these slides.
Mm.
And this video went absolutely crazy in views and like everything. And you weren't like,
Yeah.
we were checking like your account every day, and you went from like, were you around like 20K maybe around it a little
At
bit,
the time, I was like at 30, 34K, around there.
and you went up to 100K just with this
It
video.
was every day. I had 10K more and more. I hit 50K. I made a post. No, I was about to make a post for 50K. And then, like, a couple hours later, I was at 60K. Next day, 70. Next day, 80. And then, next thing you know, it was like at 100.
Like
The video got 15 million views.
so
Yeah, it was wild.
so
Wild.
like let's start from the beginning. Like when you're doing this video, like this video was like not super difficult to make, like it's this like very easy step.
Easiest video I've ever made. Easiest video I've ever made. I was like, are you sure? Because Oscar was doing this like very complex moonwalk and I couldn't do it. I was like, oh, I don't think I can be in the video, you guys. Like, I don't have time to learn this. He's like, all right, let's do this one. This one's pretty simple. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, we're just going to do this really simple one? And that's the one that hit.
And like how do you take that? Because like I imagine yourself with your phone like this and being like every time like you enter one day and you see like 10K more, 10K more, 10K more, and it's like never ending. And like what are you thinking when you're seeing this? It's like you're thinking like, why is never stopping?
I couldn't believe it. At first, I didn't see the views of the moonwalk video. At first, I would just open Instagram and the followers were like blowing up. Like I would refresh it and I was just like new followers every other second. And then the views started going up higher and higher and higher, and it was like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, and then my account was just like blowing up. Obviously, I had like that dopamine rush of like my phone blowing up, and I was getting all these followers, and I was like, it never stops. And then eventually, it slowed down a little bit, and it stopped at 15 million. But I'm happy with that. Definitely, that was like that was an amazing experience.
And
Um.
yeah, sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say that yeah, it's you never know what's gonna hit like that. Like it's just amazing. And I had people message me because it was a very simple video and people wanted a longer version and they were like, "Can you upload the longer version onto YouTube? Like I want to keep watching this."
Like but
That's another thing.
but there wasn't like a longer version, right? Like it was just this step.
It was just that step. But what made the video is also the acting behind it because I was dancing and then it was like he joined me. So a lot of people was like, "Oh, he's a stranger joining." So it was also that like whole like, oh, there's so much going on. The quality of the video, the fact that he joined me, the very simple. I think people like to follow along. So the fact that it was very simple, people could just like let it loop and like
Yeah, and maybe they're
let it
sending the video and to their friends and saying, "Oh, we could do this. Like it's easy." Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and also it was like a very cool spot because you had like the light, all the lighting behind, like being blurry and being like with this, like it was like a very cool spot and framing and everything. So yeah, like just through these days, I was with with Mark Torren Guerrero, we were in Madrid because we had to to go to a TV show, and we were like traveling together, and we were like commenting about your video and about like your growth, and we were like, what the fuck is happening to Erika? Like we were like checking every day, and it was like 30K, then 40K, then 50K, 60K, 70K, 80K. We were like every day, like it wasn't stopping, and we were like
It
we
was
couldn't believe that.
wild. Me neither. And people were like, "Are you buying your followers?" I'm like, "No, I'm not. Just look at the video. It's like at 15 million views."
And how are you, like, how do you manage it in terms of, okay, now my account has become a much bigger account, like in terms of you need that you start feeling that kind of you have more pressure to keep up with the content, or like how are you feeling in this way about what you were doing with your account?
Yeah, definitely. I felt more pressure because now that I had more followers, I was like, okay, I need to keep it up. I need to keep growing it. So for a time, I fell into the like content machine. Like, all right, we got to post once every day, or at least one day yes, one day no. And I was doing a lot of collaborations in Los Angeles, and I was keeping up with it. But I reached a burnout of like, okay, this is getting too much. Like I'm creating too much content. It's not even about dancing anymore. It's about making videos. And so I started kind of losing. I went into this little funk where I was like, I don't want to shuffle anymore. I was like, I'm tired. I'm tired of shuffling. I'm tired of making these videos. Like it was a little funk. Obviously, I didn't mean that. But yeah, it was difficult. But then taking a break is always so necessary. I feel like we get stuck. Like social media, if we don't use it, we're missing out. But I took a break and now I feel much better with it, and I'm ready to like more quality over quantity. So I want to focus on like maybe even one video a week, as long as it's very like thought out and it's a good video, over like just doing a bunch of trends and like burning myself out.
So you kind of you fell to this constant loop of doing videos and more videos and more videos, and you're like, stop. Enough.
Because it's addicting. It's addicting. You see the numbers going up, you see the views going up, and you like get into a competition with yourself because you're like, all right, my last video did really well. Let's see this next video and let's just keep growing. And like, it's good. But at the same time, like, I didn't balance. I was struggling to balance like my actual shuffle time where I would just practice, like, be by myself, shuffle. It was more like all my time was like, all right, video, planning video. So it's definitely good to have a balance. And social media can take a lot of time off of you. So I just wanted my time back for a little bit.
This dopamine rush when you have like all these views, the followers and everything is like you can't stop. Like you don't think another thing about just being there, like watching everything, like the numbers go up, and it's like like this is your like your entertainment, just watching the numbers go up.
It's a thing. Yeah, you like refresh it. You're like, oh, 1,000 more. Oh, yeah. Not good.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fun.
And did you notice? I think probably yes. But did you notice that you were being asked for more collaborations, maybe other dancers or brands, because you were growing so much? Like, was there many people approaching you?
Yeah. At the time, I noticed an increase of people approaching me when I started growing my followers, as well as artists, because I'll collaborate and I'll like work with artists who want videos on my page. So that definitely helped as I grew. I had more artists wanting videos, and as well as collaborations. That also helped because I was in Los Angeles, so I definitely wanted to do more collaborations. And so it was, yeah, it just took a lot more of my time doing a lot of in-person collaborations, videos with artists, and yeah, hopefully continuing to partner with more brands in the future and continue doing more.
And what do you think about the importance that has like the growth on the social media? Because like wanting to develop a career in an art, in this case in dancing, how important is to you, and how did it help to you to maybe help you to make a living out of dancing, or I don't know if you're trying to make a living out of dancing, and how is like this growth on the social media is helping you, or doing the opposite, like adding you like more pressure and you feel like uh, that you don't want to do that much. Like how is this affecting?
I think it's very important, social media, if we want to have a career as an artist, because it allows you to create your own opportunities. Because as you grow your following, you're more seen by more people. So there and then you're getting more opportunities because more people are seeing you and more people would want to work with you. So it definitely helped me. I was able to work with through my social media when I was in Los Angeles making videos. um and and the more that you grow, yeah, the more you're building a portfolio for yourself too. I just think it's important not to get stuck on the number, because it's like, okay, when I reach 100K, then I'll be satisfied and I'll be able to have this many opportunities, or like when I reach this number, because at the end it's like the content we're making, it's good to have a high number because that's what people look at sometimes. But I think it's important to not get lost doing that, because there are also other ways to find work as a dancer. I know there's like agencies and stuff like that. Um, and so it's definitely important to create your own opportunities with social media, because it's your own personal brand, it's your portfolio, and it shows that you can dance and it engages with other people. So that's definitely very important.
That's why to you it was also very important to level up the quality of the content in terms of production, better cameras, maybe choosing better spots, more cool or more like aesthetic, more than like any place. So like when you look to the profile,
Yeah,
it's like this
definitely.
portfolio that you see like, oh, like the like I see the thumbnails, like the grid like looks cool, and maybe this is what makes people then, or brands or whoever, go inside those videos. Because if not, if they look like pretty bad in your feed, maybe they don't even like check any video because they're like, oh, like it's not like good a good feed, or is not taking being taken care of. So yeah, I
Mhm.
can tell this is a
Yeah,
very important thing.
definitely. Yeah, definitely adding more to the video, because like when I was in quarantine, I only had my room and my fence in my backyard as my background. So finally, when I was able to like go out, we were like, where's the best place we can record? What's the best view we can get behind us, to add more details to the video rather than just like me dancing, which is still fine, just to have the dancing, which is the art in the video. But we turned it into like this whole other experience.
And I don't know how did you how did you start doing this, but like in the there was a time like some months ago when this thing of the trends hit really hard in terms of content. Like when did you get in? Like I already, like you already told us that you felt that you were like burning out from doing the trends, but how do you like discover those first trends, and how do you approach them in order to start doing them? Like when was it, and when do you say stop, like to understand how many time were you working on these like super fast videos?
Definitely this year I started doing the trends. It was more around March. The first one that I did, I'm pretty sure it was the crosswalk video. I think everybody was like doing the crosswalk, the Rasputin video.
Uh-huh.
That was like one of my first trends back in March, I believe. I'm losing track of time, or February.
Uh-huh.
So and then I just find them because like I follow a lot of shufflers. So like if I have more than one page doing the same video and then you see someone else doing the same video and the same dance, you're like, wait, everybody's doing this trend. So like I'll save the video, I'll save the sound, and next time I practice, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll learn it, and then go out and record it. Um, but yeah, I noticed that the trends are becoming more and more popular. Like more and more people are creating dances, and then everyone else starts doing them, which I think it's really cool because it unites us. Like it's like everyone can do the same dance their own way.
Uh-huh.
I know you have one. I've been wanting to do that one. I have it saved. I learned it, but I haven't recorded it yet.
Which one?
But it's just something to like the one that's like the I think it's you and Guerrero. I don't remember the name.
Mm,
I have it saved.
like
I have
just me and Guerrero.
I know I didn't even see I don't know if I even saw your guys is doing it, but I saw everybody doing it, tagging you and Guerrero.
Ah, this last weeks, you mean?
The dance. Yeah,
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 so
yeah.
but it's not
Recently.
Guerrero. It's Mark Tor, Jorge, and I.
Oh, Mark Torre. Oh, you're right, you're right. You, Mark Torre. Okay, that one.
And Jorge, yes. But like this
And
video
Jorge.
actually, like we have like two videos. Like in one there is Mark, Jorge, and I, and in the other one there is Anderson Giovanni, Chuflis, and Jose Siku. Like, and some people at the beginning was tagging Chuflis, Anderson, and Jose. The other people was tagging Jorge, Mark, and I, and in the end more people started to tag more us, like our video, and because we did like two versions with different people, and our one is like the one like being shared the most, like the dance credit. Everyone started to put our names, so everybody was saying, okay, the credit is from these guys. So it's like spread, like, and it was like a super fast video. Like I had a podcast with Mark last week here, and we were talking about this video, and we were like, we did this video in a moment and not thinking about making it like super viral. But I guess steps are like a really friendly for learning them, and the choreo together, like it looks fun maybe to make it with some friends. And like I understand maybe how it did work, but yeah, like we didn't expect that.
So you guys just did it for like fun, nice video. You like the song,
Yeah, like
and then everyone just started doing it.
yeah, like I wasn't actually even going to be in the video. I was like,
Oh, you were.
no, I was like I wasn't in the mood to dance that much, and I was like talking with other friends there while the people was learning the choreo, and they were like 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in, and some people wasn't learning the choreo, and I told to the friends in the bench, how many time do you think I can learn this choreo in? And like, it was like super fast, like maybe 2-3 minutes, something like this.
Oh, wow.
Because like I was like, I don't know, like because the choreo was like very simple. Like I get bored with these choreos because like I don't like to spend that much time, because to me like it's not very stimulating in dancing, because it's like, to me it's super easy. Like I understand that it's fun, and for most people it may be very funny and cool to do it with some friends and post it in the social media, but to me like it can be okay to have fun. That's why I ended up doing it, because to have fun. But if I need to, like, I wouldn't, if it was just about me, I wouldn't create this like by pleasure. Like I like to create, like I like to think a lot more and put like a lot of detail in the creation of the choreographies. So I don't know, this is just my way that I like to create choreos. It's not that this one is bad and mine is good. It's just the ones that I like and how I feel like fulfilled creating the choreos.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's interesting. Wow. I thought you guys had like created it because a lot of people were doing it. I've seen it in a lot of places.
yeah, but like we did create it.
You did, yeah. You trend proofed it though when you were like, okay, I learned it in 3 minutes. Let's go. Because people like that. Like they like to learn it quick and then go ahead and record it.
Yeah, like if you know shuffling, it's not like a difficult choreo to learn. It's like very easy steps. Maybe if you're not used to do one of the steps, maybe you struggle with this one a little bit, but it's like super friendly. So I understand that. Like I understand
Fun.
why this video ended up being done by a lot of people, and also your video with Rampage, like these slides. Like it makes sense because it's super easy to do, super easy to send to a friend and say, oh, we could do that. And when the video is getting shared, the algorithm says this video is being shared so much, so let's show it to more people so more people share it and they spend more time on the app. So yeah.
That's how they get us.
Instagram working to steal our time.
Yeah, it's pretty scary how they do that.
And talking about Instagram wanting to steal our time, how do you take social media? Because I know you like that you post videos because you're a dancer. You also want, like as you said, to create your portfolio. But I think that you're aware that being all the time on or too much time in the social media, like it consumes you, like it consumes your time and you don't even notice. And how do you manage to maybe not spend that much time, or do you fall into the traps of our friend Instagram and you're there a lot of time?
I have to set boundaries. So I try to say, okay, I'm going to go on. In the morning, I don't check my phone. So when I do, it's when I'm going to post. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to post, look at a few people's posts, respond, and then get off the app. And then I have to remind myself, like, not to use it because I will get stuck. Like, there will be times where I'll, like, want to check my notifications, like, every 10 minutes. Or, like, want to use the app every 10 minutes. But I'll grab my phone and I'm like, okay, what can I do? So I'll go to, like, my email or something. And, like, try to stay off the app. But, like, if it's a day that I'm not doing much, like, Instagram can take a lot of my time. So I try to just use it when I'm going to post, be on my story, like, share stuff. If not, you're just gonna be there scrolling. I try not to use my phone. Like if I'm with people or I'm out, like I'm not on it. But if I'm at home, like I'll be on it. I try to like find other things to do, like read a book or like play my guitar. If not, I'll be on Instagram.
Yeah, I noticed that, and you know, I always, if sometimes I want to focus on working, I spend a lot of time on my computer at home, also in dancing. But when I really want to focus and don't get distracted, I literally put my phone so far that to grab it I need to get up. And when I want to, like, it's like instinct. Like I realize that when I'm sitting on my computer and I'm like stopping, maybe doing one thing, thinking for 2 seconds, and what I'm looking after thinking is my phone, and I find myself like looking to the sides and trying to reach out my phone, and I sit like so far, and then I think I've put it so far because I don't want to take it. But like you notice that automatically your brain is taking the phone and you want to unlock it and go to Instagram and everything. So it's like crazy. I try to to put it easy to me so I don't end up being too much time on the phone. Some days I get that done. Some days it's more difficult to get that done. But like I have no Instagram notifications. I have all of them turned off, because if not, I would be like, oh, notification, or a message. And probably Instagram messages, they are not, the urgency for responding to them is not that important. It's just like you really need to to see that, oh, I'm getting messages like dopamine, I'm getting likes, I'm getting follows, I'm getting comments. So it's just like us going to the app looking for this dopamine dose. And like,
Oh yeah.
I think that if we that are content creators and we post things, we need to try to see Instagram as a tool to work and not just as a way of distraction, because we can fall to so many time there. And I don't know when exactly was it, but there was a point that I said, okay, I'm going to unfollow everyone. Like, if I'm not seeing the stories in my day to day, I'm going to unfollow this person, because Instagram doesn't show me, because probably I'm not interested, because if not, Instagram would show me. And I unfollowed people who wasn't uploading really much things. So right now, in my feed and in the things that I see, I try to make it just things that really are adding some value to this time. Like, maybe I'm seeing what is doing this shuffler from this country, or this group from this other part, or maybe this page, or maybe it's a friend of mine that I want to know what he's doing. But like, I try to keep it really, really like essential things that you can watch on the Instagram. And I try to follow a lot of people who shuffles, people who is doing things in their country, or people who is very active. So if I go to Instagram, at least I'm just watching shuffle, or shuffle
Mm-hmm.
related. So this way, it kind of, I make it environmentally better. So if I spend time there, it's not that much. Like, I try not to go to the explore and things, because if like
Oh
it's never
no.
ending. It's never ending.
It never ends.
Like,
But that's good.
do you do something similar, or how you try to spend your time on the app?
Yeah, no, I think it's really important. Like if I'm scrolling and I find stuff that isn't like random stuff, I'll unfollow it because like what we give our attention to is super important. So like if we're gonna be scrolling, consuming things, it might as well be valuable or about people like we care and truly are interested in. There's a lot of like at least like yeah, a lot of accounts that I've had to unfollow because they would share like a lot of like news that was like from their own opinion, like just a lot of things that like I just felt weird during certain times, so I unfollowed. Um, but yeah, I follow right now a lot of people, and I feel I don't want to like unfollow everybody, but like sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish it could be less so I could focus more on the people that I genuinely like really like want to see every day. Because sometimes, at least I feel like now the algorithm's a little bit weird. The algorithm's been changing. So it'll show me like random things, and even my stories will like change.
But what do you mean about random things? Like, in the feed, in the home
So
feed, the people that you follow.
yeah, I noticed that if I don't engage with the people that I choose, like if I don't engage every time with some post, then it'll just start refreshing and sharing me like random things. So like there's been times where like it'll just show me quotes. Like I'll be scrolling and it's just the quote accounts. Or sometimes it's just shuffling, but it's barely a mix. Like it goes with what I'm feeling, I think, that day. I don't know. Maybe that was some weird time, but yeah, I noticed that.
Like, the thing that I know is that um, the accounts that you have, like the first ones, like in the stories, in the feed, is the ones you interact more with. So when they upload something, you're more you're probably going to watch the stories or reply or this. So when you start, maybe, like, I noticed this a lot of times, that someone who, there was maybe some months that I'm not talking that much, I watch one of their stories, I reply, then we start some conversation, then I check maybe their page, what have they been doing lately. I like some of their pictures or whatever. Next time I go on Instagram, they're like one of the first that I see.
Oh yeah,
So
it does that.
it does that.
Yeah.
So
It goes by your engagement.
so I always try to just engage with the people that I'm interested in. So when I see someone who posts things that I'm really not into it, I unfollow it, or I just try to not engage. So maybe it's less like, I don't mind unfollowing people. They can be dancers or friends, like not very 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 close friends, but friends that I see like time to time. If they're not really uploading something, like I don't care. But because I take Instagram as a tool of working and having the content, so if it's distracting me too much, it's unproductive. So it's just like I try to not be like an Instagram consumer. I am in some way, but like I take it as a creator, I think, more than just a consumer.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, we have to set boundaries
mm-hmm.
with that because if not, we just consume.
Yeah, these people behind it, like they're too smart. They know.
There are people in like scientists like trying to program us to use the app. Like it's
We
wild.
need to, we need
It
to fight.
works.
We need to fight against that.
It works. But without them, we wouldn't be able to share our content either. So
Yeah.
it's like we're kind of stuck.
Sorry, not sorry.
Right? Like
Yeah,
a hard
it's
truth.
just an inner fight between consuming it, but just the essential. But yeah, it's like, don't go to the explore page. There is where it gets
No.
wild. Like you just check one video in the feed and just and you start exploring, and it's just never ending. Okay, so
Never.
I some days ago, like I think it was, well, some days ago, not, I think it was yesterday, I saw a video of yours dancing on the stage near to Oliver Heldens, and I know that you have like a relationship, a friend relationship from a long time ago, and I wanted to ask you, like I've never asked you, and how do you meet, like how do you get started in talking, or how do you meet with Oliver? Like how's this relationship starting and up to what is today?
So I actually, the first time I met him was in 2013. I went to a festival. Yeah, it was like a festival. And I saw him dancing on stage. And then after, I just went up to him and like took a selfie. And that was like in 2013. And then like 2018, when I started shuffling, his management team reached out and they wanted me to do a shuffle video to one of his songs. And so I did that. And then I just did a couple. It was like other releases that he did. I did shuffle videos too, and he would like see my videos, repost them. And so that's how we kind of started, was like me dancing to his songs. And so when he came to Miami, I was invited to one of his pool parties that he did, and there I was able to go and like meet him. I got like a VIP, and I was able to meet him and
Mm-hmm.
go to the backstage. And then there I was able to go and dance with him on stage. And then after that, like we just stayed connected on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And then this pool party, we went, and yeah, I got to go and dance on stage again. That was really fun.
So like and at this early stage, because when you said that when you started dancing, their management team contacted you, but was it because, like, did you have like some kind of relation, or it like, because I think that like you weren't a big account on Instagram, like maybe the management, it wasn't like looking for big accounts, I don't know. Like, do you know why they reach out to you, or it was random?
So at first it was random. At first it was random, but also because I made a video in front of my school, and that's where like the person that was looking at it, that's the same school that they went to.
Hmm.
Like when they were looking at hashtag shuffle dance.
Uh-huh.
So it was like that. And then we became like friends at first.
Uh-huh.
And so then they were like trying to support me to the fact that we went to the same school. So they were supporting me and they were like also working there.
Mm-hmm. So like, I understand now why they like they are looking for shuffle and they see shuffle in their school and they're like, what in our school?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was like 3 years ago. So then we all like built a relationship. Um, and yeah, and so I get to see him. He's playing this Friday in Miami, so I'm probably gonna go see him too
Hmm.
again this week.
So when was the first time that you met like in person with him?
2013. Like it was
Well,
super
uh
random.
huh.
I was at a
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
festival
Yeah, the
and I
festival.
saw him walking and I was like, "Oh, let me take a picture." And I have a selfie with him
And
from there.
after that, like when you were dancing, like once you were active on dancing, when was like the first contact as uh, a DJ and dancer? Like when was
That
this first?
was that was the week of Miami Music Week
Uh
2018
huh.
at his Healthy pool party.
Okay. Yeah. Like
Yeah, that was
this
fun.
this week in Miami is crazy, right? This
Oh
Miami
my
Music
God, you
Week.
see DJs everywhere. That week there's something going on every day. There's pool parties, night parties, everything. Ultra weekends. It's really fun. You
Hmm.
guys should come down for that.
Yeah. Yeah, but, like I started going to festivals when I was I think it was like I was like 15, 16 maybe. That was like it was like the age that you can start going when you are 16. So
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't went to many festivals. Like I've gone to this to some of them like repeatedly throughout the years, but I haven't like done big travels for some festivals yet. Like the travels that I done are like for going dancing or going to some tournaments or whatever. But yeah, in Spain, like the festival culture, there is a little bit now, but like in the United States, it's like another world of festival culture. It's like,
There's so many
yeah,
here.
and so big. So yeah,
Lollapalooza last weekend looked
yeah,
huge. I don't know if you've seen pictures, but it was like so many people.
and like I don't know if you know something, but like how is like COVID situation in the US to allow this massification of people? I don't know because in Spain they do like
Not
a little
good.
thing, and the cases are like poof peaking and then restrictions again. But like I see in the US, like there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things and numbers like in terms of um, population like percentage, like in Spain, like it's higher, and we're like doing nothing here. And in other countries, they're like doing a lot of things, and there aren't like many cases per 100,000 residents. So like I don't know, like how's that many festivals already in the U.S.
I don't know. I mean, it's getting worse again. Like California is going worse. Florida right now has like the highest cases. It's peaking again.
Oh, I lost your audio. I don't
Oh,
know.
hello.
Okay, now yes.
How about now? Yeah, that now in Florida we need to wear masks again and it's getting worse. So I don't know. I don't know what the effects is going to be, but that festival looked wild.
Yeah, and how many times have you been in Ultra? Like like Ultra is one of the festivals that I look forward to go one day maybe. Well, I want to go as many times as I can. But how is this festival like from the inside? Like I haven't gone sadly yet. Hopefully soon I will. But how is like this festival inside like for a person who likes to dance and to shuffle at is like the perfect environment, the perfect music. So how like this like heaven.
It's
It's
amazing.
heaven.
It's amazing. I've been to Ultra since 2012. So I've been like six times, I think. And it's amazing. It's a huge festival. You have so much space. I mean, if you're gonna be in the crowd, you don't have space to shuffle in the crowd. But if you're outside the crowd, you have like so much space to just dance. Videographers will come up to you, they'll start recording. There's like stuff going on everywhere. It's really fun. Like there's DJs like in every tent. You just have so many options. One of my favorite festivals. I love that one and I love EDC.
EDC. Which one?
EDC Orlando.
Orlando.
Orlando. I haven't been to Vegas. Orlando is the one that I've been to, and that one's also really fun.
Yeah, it's just like they look so wild. All these festivals. I just want to go. Like I'm a electronic music lover, and like I'm dying to go there. And
When you go, you're gonna love it.
yeah, with these big stages, it doesn't matter that you put like outside the crowd where you have more space because the music is already like super high and you're feeling the bass on your chest. So like it's I'm just thinking and I'm like imagining me dancing is like crazy wet dreams right now that it's COVID time.
Oh my gosh, I know. One day though, one day, because people usually travel from around the world for Ultra. You find people from everywhere. Maybe not next year, but hopefully the year after that.
Yeah, like you don't think that in
That they
2022 would be possible to have Ultra yet?
I don't know because they are having Lollapalooza and stuff like that, but I guess it all depends. It depends on the on what happens after. It's only been a week, so I don't know if that it's rising cases from it or I really don't know. I think EDC and all of those festivals are still happening, so I don't see why they would cancel Ultra unless like it gets really bad again.
It's just like a very weird time for people who likes to go to festivals or organize the festivals, DJs, everyone involved. It's just like some hard times for us. But I think that when everything is back, it will be like the golden years for festivals.
Yeah.
Because like we will appreciate having it like so much. We will be like festival, yes or yes. Going yes or yes, like there's no time, like all this time that we're like going nowhere to this. So yeah, like I'm look forward to be able to go to festivals again and travel to the US and join Ultra sometime. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have like more like many more extra things to talk about. Like do you want to bring some topic in that maybe you're interested in talking about? Because I wanted to talk about like the social media, the content, the growth, also about festivals. And like is there something you want to talk about that like is intriguing you maybe from the shuffle community or something like that?
I feel like we've talked a lot about I guess I would like to hear like your thoughts on coming from Spain because I'm here in the US, you guys are over there in Spain. So like your thoughts on like the trends, shuffle trends. Kind of shared some. How you like the complicated stuff?
Well, the thing is that there was I've explained that in other podcasts. So in March of this year, I did an everyday posting. Like I had like a different video for every day. I tried to do it different, but some of them were trends. Like in TikTok, I did like more trends, but on Instagram, I was trying to keep it kind of original or maybe not repeating the trend 2 times or more, because if not, like it's the same video over and over, and my audience doesn't like that really much. And not because I want just to please my audience, but because this is the audience that I like. So it's just like I tried the trends, but as I said, like I get bored so fast about these trends because they are so easy, and like I can do them like no problem. But if I'm just doing this every day, and just these kind of videos, to me it's like, yeah, again another trend and another trend. There was some time that
Yeah.
I said, okay, let's believe in this kind of content. Let's believe that we can do different things. But we ended up like going to when we were like creating, like the group was always going back to trends that already exist or songs that already are doing well. So you kind of always end up repeating the same things you're seeing on the social media. So I just like to be original. Like I like to create. I don't like to copy. I can get inspired by something, and create something out of this idea. But I don't like to copy because I feel like I'm not feeling like a dancer. Like I'm dancing, I'm moving to this song or repeating these moves, but I don't feel creative doing the trends. So it's just a kind of content and dancing that is just keeps me bored. So I prefer, like I tried it. It's not that I'm not just judging it from the outside. It's just I tried it. To me, it doesn't add all the things that I look for when I try to dance. So I try to do things that fulfill me in the way of dancing. And since in Spain is a country where the development of the dance is quite high, it's like everything looks very easy. For like we're not saying that we are like the best and all these things, but like all the trends and everything, like to me at least, and to other people that I know, people who is also not like very known, people dancers from here, they see it like as super simple, and like they don't get why is people, well, they understand that it's easy to do, that's why people does it, but they don't understand like people who knows how to dance, like they know how to create, they don't know why they do it so much if it's not adding something in terms of creativity or development of the dance. It's just, yeah, adding followers, okay, but like for some people this is just not enough, and I've experienced that. I've grown in followers when I was doing more videos like this, but like, it wasn't enough for me. Like I need to feel very good when dancing and creating the piece. As you said, like you need to like, you like when you see the quality of the video, of the camera, the spot and everything. So it's just, I guess we're in Spain a little bit more exigent in terms of what's the content like in the dance, and how's the, it's not that we are always looking for like super complex, but like we are really appreciate people trying to do things differently and try to be original and create, just because we are used to that and we're used to do that. So we value this more than just repeat the trend. So this is why in Spain people seize the trends like this. Like there's not in Spain, outside from maybe me or Mark and Guerrero, who have done it sometimes, there's no one like doing the trends, literally, like no one. So,
Wow. Yeah, it's very different culture
yeah.
from the social media world, at least in both countries. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that
Thank you.
it's the community that we've been building like these last years. Like we wanted the people to take shuffle more professional, or like taking it as a dance to create, to understand the dance, and to that the important thing is the dance, that you feel that you're projecting what you want with your dance, and not just about creating. Yeah, creating, it's cool if you want to do it. There's ways to do it more to the trends or more in other ways, but I guess people end up like having this reference of it's better to do like more advanced dancing and try to challenge yourself and how to get better, than just do like easy videos. And like people don't feel that much fulfilled with this.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel, and that's kind of burning out
Oops,
video.
like your audio is like getting cut right now. We're back with Erika in her phone. Sorry about this. And the question was to share a thing with the Shuffle Podcast audience that you have learned recently in the last months, weeks, something recent that is helping you in your shuffle journey. Maybe a concept, or maybe something that you apply to your dance, or something of some mindset, or some DJ that you are loving to dance to, something that you find really that is helping you, that you've learned lately.
Yeah, so something that has helped me when I get into like a creative block or just like feeling really stressed out. Because sometimes I'll be like trying to like do a choreo or trying to move a certain way, and like I'll get really blocked in my mind. So I started going on a run. So I'll play Hell Deep Radio, which is from Oliver Heldens. I'll play it on my headphones and I'll go for a run. And what I do is like when it's slow, I kind of walk. And when the beat drops, I'll jog. I'll do that for like 20 minutes and then I'll get into my dance practice. And that way, like, since I was running before, I couldn't dance to the music. Once I start dancing, I feel like I can add a lot more energy into my moves and get more into it. So that's something that's helped a lot.
Like I never thought about like doing this like with music, like going more like walking when there's the break, and when it drops, just start running. And then
It's so helpful. It's the best because usually you're like, all right, I'm going to run for 20 minutes. But if you do it this way, you use way more energy, you save more energy and you use it more like on the drop. Like you want to go super hard. And then on the walk, you know, you can just jog a little slow and go with the music.
Maybe I'm trying this one.
Try it. Let me know how it goes.
Like
Let me know.
I also listen to Healthy Radio. I get a lot of music from there. So yeah, like it's a great show. So you should give it a listen to. Okay, and the last thing, the other question is for you to ask whatever you want to me. Like I've been questioning like everything, bringing all the topics up. So now you get to ask me whatever you want. You already did a question some minutes ago with this. What do we think from the trends? But this is podcast typical protocol. These last two questions. So yeah, whatever you want to ask me, you can now.
So for us here in the US, what would you say would be a good way to get more creative? Because sometimes I feel like I only have the same moves and like I want to get more creative with my dancing. And when I look at your dancing, I'm like, whoa, like there's so many creative like moves and ways you put them together. So maybe like what's like an exercise or like a way of finding new moves, or how can we like expand our dance vocabulary?
So there's a common thing that happens to many dancers. That is that there's people that learn how to dance by learning just steps. Like they just learn some specific moves and then try to put one after the other. At the beginning, at the very, very, very beginning, this is what you need to do to get started on moving. But once you start doing these steps, you really need to start being able to create with these steps. What I mean is to change the order, start making some little variations. So it's not just about taking moves and okay, this is a new step and another step and another step and another step, and then okay, just dance and try to put them together, because you are relying on your memory about remembering about these steps. And if maybe you don't remember, or you're just very used to do always the same steps, you will find yourself repeating yourself over and over. And maybe you do in 1 week, you shoot one video every day and all the videos look pretty much the same, because you're like always thinking about the same steps all over again. So depending on the person, but what you need to do is kind of relearn again. So you need to start like dancing, not thinking about the steps and saying, oh, I want to go this step, oh, I then want to go to this one. Just you need to get your body used to do a step depending on how is your body moving and how's the positioning of your body. So you always try to kind of flow with how is your body. And because, for example, if you do a spin, you're creating some momentum spinning. So if you want to stop and cut this momentum, this is like really, it's not helping. But maybe because you're spinning and then you think of a step that needs to be done straight and without this momentum, maybe you cut this momentum, but and you're breaking your flow. And maybe this happens maybe 5 times in a round, and you don't, like, it's very difficult to put together a round that is like complete and that has some that you find yourself flowing and being able to be creative. So to me, dancing is not just about learning a bunch of steps and then putting one after the other, but it's to try to understand how with these basic steps you can start to build on top of them. And once you start learning the tools and the concepts, you can start working with these steps. You will find little by little more easy to improvise at the moment, to not need to think, or not need to practice around, or not need to shoot 10 videos and just then be watching them all over, choosing which one is better, because like it's a never ending then. So with this approach, I found, and we found in Spain, that people can do 5 rounds in a row and all of them being super different, and they are done in a very short amount of time. So many people find this impossible. Like, how do you do 5 rounds with maybe the same kind of songs, do them super different every time, practically not repeating any step or concept or trick or whatever, and don't, like, just improvising, just freestyling. So this is because you have like tools in every moment. Like you're not pre-thinking or have like a bunch of steps that you've learned and you're choosing always the same steps. So we take it like this, and it's a lot about education in the dancers. So it really needs to be taught by someone who knows how to do it, because in Spain we needed to learn that by ourselves. Like, we had like Shufris at the beginning was the one starting to wanting to approach things more like this, and I was like kind of one of the first to start following him, and obviously there was more people. And when you start, it's super hard because you need to kind of, as I said, relearn how to dance. So you feel like your leveling is going down because you need to start learning how to use these tools and how to get creative on this process. But once you start understanding it, it's like the growth, it's like exponential. It's like it's like never, like it makes zero sense. So yeah, like, to me, this is the way, not just learning steps mechanically and have like a step list that I know how to do them and just doing one after the other, but try to understand like what is the essence of shuffling, what do we need to feel when shuffling, or the moves we're doing, how are we doing those moves and how our body's feeling, so then we can try to follow with like steps that make a good context one after the other. So that's also how, for example, I create the choreos, and I can create like a lot of choreos and all of them very different, but because you do a step and then from this position you start to think, okay, which step makes sense after this in terms of how do we have our body. And like I take the choreo, same process as freestyling, but since you have the choreo and you have the time to prepare and everything, you can do a lot of crazy things because you have the time to think and try which one can work better. So it's a long process, but it's like 100% worth it. It's way better than the other because like you feel stuck very frequently.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that. Relearning it. Yes. Good. Thank you.
Okay, so that's it for this podcast. Thank you for being here, Erika. I know like we've been talking so many time for scheduling your podcast. Like actually, it was almost going to be the first podcast, and we are like on the 13th episode already.
Thank you for having me. This has been amazing.
Okay, so
And thank you everyone for listening.
So you'll find Erika's socials in the description. Instagram. Is there any other platform that you want that maybe people can find you?
I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Okay.
Mostly Instagram.
Okay, so you'll have all the socials in the description. And last of the last, for closing the podcast, I'm letting you close it saying whatever you want. So thank you for being here, Erika, and the mic is all yours.
Thank you for having me. Thank you everybody for listening. It has been amazing. It's awesome because we're here in the US and I've spoken to Marcos in Spain, Shufli so many times, but we've never actually like met in person. So I'm just grateful to be part of this shuffle community, for everybody sharing. And yeah, if anything stood out to you and you guys want to DM me, go and DM me on Instagram. And yeah, I'm always free to talk.
One day we'll meet in person.
One day
sure.
we'll meet, we'll dance in person. I was going to go before COVID. I was going to go to Shuffle Showcase in March of 2020, but then
yeah,
everything happened. But there will be more opportunities. I'll be there. I still have my flight credit to Spain, so I'll be in Spain.
Okay, so thank you everybody for listening and see you next week with another The Shuffle Podcast episode. Bye everyone.